for the ultimate source of inspiration, knowledge, and entertainment, look no further. Network Kingdom is a unique platform that brings together experts from various industries. Through networking and collaboration, we create inspiring conversations that educate, entertain, and motivate our listeners. Whether you're a business professional, an entrepreneur, or simply someone looking to grow their knowledge base.
Hello, everyone. It's yet another week, and I have with me a very good friend that I've met lately, and he's none other than Dr. Bak. Dr. Bak is a dentist. When I knew I was interviewing him, I had to go and look at my teeth. I wanted to be sure if I was allowed to smile. How are you doing, Dr. Bak? Thank you for being on here with me.
It's my honor to be here. And you should never be shy to smile. You know, a smile will open a lot of doors. A lot.
Well, when you're smiling to a dentist, he'll be looking at a lot. So tell me, how many years have you been a dentist?
The word with my books, I was changing the word a smile at a time. So I had a lot of practice.
But how did you go from dentistry to writing? How many books have you written?
By today, I have 131 books. Over
oh, wow. I actually thought it
maybe
was
a little more than 5 years.
I'm wondering, how do you write the books and practice full time?
Actually, it's a matter of management. And if I can be frank here, I never want to be a dentist. So anything that I can do to save me from the dental chair, I always jump on it. I've been like that since I was a student. And after
a little bird told that.
Excuse
so
me.
How come you didn't want to be and you ended up a dentist?
Excuse me, you were cut out. I didn't get a catch for the question.
Oh, I said, how come you didn't want to be a dentist and you ended up a dentist?
To make a long story very short, it's my parents are immigrant, and when they arrived in Canada, that was the only thing they bet on. So I was the eldest of my family. I had no other choice than to obey. So I did obey, but I was more a sensitive soul and an artist. So you can imagine the pain of an artist having to fit into the strict mold of a doctor. And I succeed surviving that. But any chance I had to just go outside and to be myself, lately, I took it. And when you ask me why am I commit to do as much, it's I love to have fun, and then I create stuff, and then I'm stuck with finishing what I started, and I hate to lose. So that's pretty much my recipe.
Yeah, we all hate to lose. But what tell us, your books, are they around dentistry or are they around the arts, or what are they centered?
As far as possible, I'm trying to keep myself away from dentistry, but lately I've been sucked right in. But I started writing books about entrepreneurship. This is mostly what I know. Entrepreneurship that goes also very hand in hand with personal growth. So because I wasn't myself, I wasn't happy in my skin. Even though on the outside I look very successful, I was seeking answers and writing books. To me, the first book I was looking for myself. Like, it's mostly so I was writing for myself, and I just tried to understand my past. And I'm saying that to everybody who I teach writing. It's the first book you be writing. Try to get rid of it as soon as possible, because mostly you are going with all your baggage and you try to look good, but nobody look good with the baggage. As soon as you get through the first book, now you're free to explore your present and your future. So if you ask me why did I write so many books, it's because now after 130 books, I start to find myself. But it took me that many books to get there.
So, I'm actually looking at you and I'm wondering, and I'm trying to imagine, it must have been a struggle at some point, um, being a dentist and and being an artist. And obviously, you have that perfectionism kind of trait. So you weren't going to fail at being a dentist, even though you didn't want to be a dentist. You weren't going to be seen to be a failure as a dentist. Because I know you're one of the best dentists in the
Thank you. Um, I don't like teeth, but I like people. So as a doctor, that was one of the thing who set me apart because many doctors, today we are so specialized in what we do that we are just focused on the illness or the treatment. I hated that, but people kept me alive. And an artist, it's very sensitive to emotions. So I became a very good doctor because I love people and I was there for my patient. I think that if I last for 25 years in this field, it was thanks to the patient I was seeing because they were sending me back gratitude and the feeling that I was useful. So, on that sense, I think that my spirit as an artist kept me alive and elevate me to the to what you saw, the glory of and the fame of the profession because I was different. I'm not saying that doctors are all cold, but the way we train, we are so because we don't have the right to error ever, and we have so many things to obey that it is very little room to be personal. But as for me, I would have shoot
yeah.
myself if I have go through just that for the last 10 years. So any chance I had to be human, to just laugh, to connect with people, I jump on it. But people hate to go to the dentist. So suddenly I was the best dentist ever. Just because I was looking to
I
laugh and to connect.
yes. Actually, growing up, my favorite dentist was the one dentist that played with me. And when he finished with me, he gave me a sweet.
By the end of the day, dentists, we are
And I
all
love
human. We are kids inside of us. So whatever you like, we like too. But we've been trained to say, yeah, but you have to. If you get over that hypocrisy and say, okay, you have a problem, let's fix it. We cannot change your past. Let's make sure that we can treat ourselves however we want, but just help us a little bit. That make the difference. But to be honest, also, after about 3 years or through 4 years in the profession, I find my way in the profession and my pace in the profession. So I became a cosmetic dentist. So basically, my job was not to heal people anymore. It was to give people back their pride, to help them build up that smile. This is on paper. What was fortunate for me and for my patient is it was also the best opportunity that I had to build up their confidence. This is where I drill. So officially, I could never say that I fixed the confidence because I'm no shrink. I'm a dentist. But from that smile, from that confidence that you gave them back and
Italy, yeah.
they open up just like flowers, and that was beautiful to see. And I was addicted to see people coming in and a few months down the road
The
getting out
before
a
and
different
after.
person. And people always think that those are the teeth. No, the teeth were just an excuse for them to gain confidence.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So outside dentistry, what else do you do? You write. I know you.
How long do you have?
I have all night. I have all night.
Being an artist and a free spirit.
Something tells me. Something tells me.
Excuse me, I didn't get that.
I said something tells me you sing.
I would love to sing, but I don't have the voice. But I do play piano though, and that helps me a lot. Um,
Okay.
as an artist and a free spirit, what can I tell you? It's everything that goes with creativity. It's something that I will touch. So yes, I have a piano, and I've been through exactly what most people go. So you have to go learn the scales, and then I threw everything away. I became a guitarist. That I fell to because it was too strict. And few years down the road, I came back to the piano, but learning applying the scales that I learned from the guitar to the piano, and I start composing. Yes, I try to sing. That didn't go well.
Oh,
And today I cannot say that I'm a good pianist, but a pianist who doesn't have to practice. So basically, if you give me a piece and the scales are there, I can if I, as soon as I can pick up the rhythm of the song, I can play it. So really, today I play. I enjoy playing. It's not if I have to practice to play. And I know that many of my friends are have been classically trained, and they look at me and say, "Whoa, how you do this?" I look them play and say, "Whoa, how you do this?" But about me, it's all about not having to practice and to have fun. I use the same mentality when I
and
touch,
I'm sure that helps you relax as well.
and then I use the same mentality when I touch other fields. So writing books is the same. It's when I start writing, I start just connecting with myself. Then I play with the words, and you listen to me today. You think I am a English native speaker. I'm not. I'm a French native speaker, and I learned to speak English by writing. I got way better within the last 5 years.
Oh,
And my vocabulary, and then you'd be laughing. My vocabulary it's pretty much a lexicon of maybe somebody who just finished high school. So that's why everybody who listens to my speech, they're very simple to understand because I have a limited lexicon. Now I think it's gotten better, but I love to play with the same words and to see how I can get something out of it. And today that became kind of my branding. I can bring very complex
yeah, but I
concept
mean, it
to
makes it
simple
simple.
words.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
if you want to understand the concept, if you
Absolutely.
ask me what I did, it's I try to find inside of the words kind of patterns, the scales, just like if I play music. And then after every time that I write a new book, that's just the rhythm or the theme. And playing with the same scales, now you can compose. So basically, this is how I'm having a lot of fun writing. And I can go from one book to next. If you asked me 5 years ago, would I have ever imagined I'd be writing that much? I'm a lazy guy. I would say no. I'm the first one to say no, never.
I'm actually still staring at you. Not 100, 130. Do you have a favorite one?
No, that's a hard question. That's like a parents looking at their children, which one you like the most. I have to say with each one of them, I can tell you that I have souvenir going through each one of them. After 130, and I'm a bad parent, I have forgot some of them, so I have no clue what I wrote in this particular book. But I think that I always enjoy the one that I'm having in front of my eyes now. And if you go through my social network, people saying that you write so
What are
much,
you
so why
writing?
don't you talk about your books? I do talk about my books, but I'm always talking about the one I'm writing today. As soon as that one is done, I jump to the next one.
So which one are you
So I don't
writing?
go.
Which one are you writing today?
Yeah. Actually, today I'm finishing. You asked that to the beginning. I got pulled back to dentistry, and I use my talent as a writer now to serve dentistry. So in other words, I'm having 10 to 12 colleagues every time to join me on FAQ books on dentistry. And I try to have out of them the essence of the good doctor. And let me show you one of those books.
Okay, I'd love to see. Um,
This arrived yesterday, and this is the kind of book that doctors write.
oh, Alpha Dentistry. It looks very medical.
It is, but actually, this is the first time that doctors from all around the world come together and not, writing a book not about how to better operate somebody, but how to bring that knowledge in words that they will understand. So I have now they need to be
How
laughing
to
at me.
communicate the common.
Exactly.
Is that how to communicate the common man like me?
You're not common, trust me. But what I'm trying to say here is this
Okay, at
it's based
least
on
a
FEQ.
layman
So
like me when it comes to dentistry.
it's based on FEQ. So in other words, patients were asking questions, and I would take the time to answer them. But since
Okay,
this is medicine, I didn't want to have a book based on one opinion. So I have 10 to 12 doctors from all around the world going through the same list of questions. Now we have a better idea of what's the truth.
Also,
And this is the bad part of it. You see how thick this is? It's 800 pages. I have,
reminds me of, I had medical students as friends in the university, and it reminds me of the books I saw them read. They were always ever so big. Oh my goodness. They were like punishment.
but this is the bad part of it. I have 10 to write. This is just one.
Oh my, 10 in this series, 10 in this series,
Actually,
or
it's 9.
other books.
But if I, no, this just this series, and they might be not as thick, but pretty close.
Okay.
So I have 8, I'm sorry, 9 to 10 books to write to complete the series. This is the second one. So for the next foreseeable months, I'll be writing dentistry book.
But that's nice. At least you're beginning to, that means you're beginning to kind of accept where you are, and you're coming into your own, and you've approached dentistry from a way that is comfortable, and you're
Not
not
at all.
feeling pressured
Not at all.
anymore.
You know why I'm doing this?
Not at all.
Because I have announced my retirement by the end of 2024. So I'll be retiring as a dentist by 2024.
Okay.
And I'm doing this as a legacy.
Awesome. So everything about dentistry is actually a sense of duty.
You know, it's cool to stay and say that, oh, I could have been. Dentistry brought me a solid foundation. And I'm very grateful to dentistry because it accept me as I was. So yes, I have to go
Absolutely.
inside of the lines. I have to fit in the box. But it did give me 25 years of success in this career. And being in the dentistry, and when you're miserable in your skin, you see the flaws very quickly. So my goal today is, before I'm leaving this profession, I will try to fix what I saw as flaws to help my peers, to help them help other patients. And writing these books, that's the one of the step that we're taking. So we try to democratize a profession that has been way too overprotective and a little bit out of date if you compare to the way that everything else is evolving through information. Dentistry is still very kept behind closed door of the secrecy, or the the elites. I'm part of the elites, but it doesn't make sense anymore to play with your cards so close to your chest. And then as soon as something like COVID happened and they asked you to stay home, then now you bench wherever. So we have to become smarter. And COVID did help me find people who was thinking the same. And this is a way to, it's my way to thank an industry or profession who adopted me. But I know I'm an adopted son, so I have to go back to my own roots, to my nature.
To where you're comfortable and where you're happy.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to digest your book. This is actually one of the, I think this is the first time I haven't gone through my guest's book, because I've had quite a number of authors. I would usually, I mean, it's either I've read a lot of their books, but I would always read the latest one. But going by the size of this one,
You don't want to read this book, but if there's one that you like to read, and I know that the people from Brain Magazine went crazy about it. It's How to Leverage Emotional Intelligence. Or have another one just prior to that one that was
also,
released, just I think before Christmas, within 4 days. It's How to Read Anybody. So if you're asking, usually what do I
like
write
body
about?
language,
I'm sorry.
like body language,
Absolutely.
like body language.
And one of the
Oh,
latest
really? So you
I
can read
wrote.
me now.
You know, as soon as we're connecting, there's so many information out there that is, if you know what to look for, it's easy to read somebody. But for this, you have to be available.
Oh, yes, you can have a feel of the person. Yes, you can.
Actually, let's make a test. We start today. Let's just go back to what we did today. We start today, and you want to welcome me. Say, I'm have a dentist in front of me, and I know if I can smile. Remember? And then you smile. What did I do?
Yeah.
I smile again. So I mirror you. Because I mirror you,
Yeah.
you feel very you feel warm, and you feel that a familiarity between us
Yes, and well,
because I mirror you.
absolutely.
And going through this, as soon as I mirror you, you start mirroring me back. So then it's just like a dance where we
Oh,
just exchange
yeah.
energy. Now, this is a way to start a conversation. Then what we do after that is you throw me the ball. You throw me the ball saying that, yeah, I'm one of the great dentists. I'm right. I do so many things. And you put me on a platter. So usually what would I do? I would take that energy and say, okay, I have to play with it. Then I have to send you back
Yeah.
that ball. And as I send you back that ball, or you, let's say that you send me that ball, you had an idea. You want me to feel at ease and to open up, right? That's why you throw me that ball. It
Yes.
was easy to understand. I got the ball, and the two things I can do: either I keep the ball for myself, which at a certain point this conversation will not exist, or I have to play somehow that you
Absolutely.
feel that I'm throwing the ball back at you and back and forth. So reading people is not just about knowing if they're lying or not. It's playing with them. It's a dance.
No, it's also it's the positivity for me more. I mean, not it's not even so much as lying or not. It's about I've learned to read people's energy, and because I'm a bit of an empath, so I absorb people's energy a lot. So I'm able to, like read positive. I'm very wary of negative energy. So I try to bring positivity. It's draining. It's draining.
So
So
coming back
that's
at
that's
reading
why I do
people,
that.
so if you use that technique, which is a very simple technique, you're not just reading people, you're suggesting to people a way to act, and it's going to be easier for anybody you have
Yeah,
in front of you to follow that path, and it's going to take them much more energy
absolutely.
to that diverse from that path. But if they divert from that, now you have a real information. Why is it that they're diverging? What are they looking for? And
Yeah.
it's you have the negative of that answer. You know what they don't want. So to read for what they want, it's
Mhm.
not that hard. And most people are very clear about what they don't want. And one of the mistakes we always do in life is we try to reach for the exact answer. What do that person want? And then we can never pin it down. Go for the opposite. Just try to figure out what they don't want. And this is really easy to see. What's left is what they want.
Absolutely. And a lot of times, even when we're asked questions, we first of all answer with what we don't want. We never start with what we want.
Yeah, but this is when you talk about yourself, right? So I'm not talking about myself. I want to read you. And I know that everything that you don't want,
Okay.
you're not even protective of it. So you'll be throwing this
Mhm.
right from the beginning. Start reading what people don't want. Whatever's left is what they want.
Nice. I learned a new one. Awesome. Awesome. So I mean, I wish I could be a fly in your consulting room and just watch you with your clients, because I'm sure they will be having fun when they're consulting you. Um, so with your clients, I know that um, cosmetic dentistry is the fillers, the correction of teeth, right?
Mhm,
The whitening and things like that, right?
mhm. Basically, what you just
You
asked
know,
me is how we charge people. Now, it's not the way that we help people. If you want me to walk you through a consultation, it's usually I have somebody in front of me who wants something and they don't know
mhm,
what they want, but they're gonna focus on tools like they have crooked teeth, or they have spacing between the teeth, or they have yellow teeth. I have as a dentist to
mhm.
go through the desire, But as a doctor, I have to pinpoint what they really want. Because basically, whatever they tell me is just an excuse. But if you cut this down into, a basic blueprint of a conversation, it's they all have a dream to reach, and something inside of them is blocking them from reaching that dream. And the dream is always about how they feel about themselves. So the first thing to do, just like with
Yes.
anybody with a dream, it's don't crush the dream. Empower that. Listen to them.
Yes.
As they gonna vocalize the desire, you learn more and more about them. And it's not always about teeth. As soon as you successfully understand what that person want, now anything that it's blocking the way to the success, you have to remove. And now you have a better blueprint of how to treat that person. This is how I approach dentistry, and this is how I became successful. The teeth was always secondary. But by the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
the only thing I can charge for or my treatment. My treatment was about teeth, but basically all this
Yeah.
conversation was about helping somebody to reach the dream or to touch something that they couldn't because there was a blockage.
Yeah.
And
Makes a lot
also,
of
this is
sense,
how I
actually.
use the same strategy when I transition from being a dentist. You know that today I'm much more a mentor and I'm mentoring people on a daily basis, and I basically use the same tactic. People arrive with goals,
Oh,
with
wow.
dreams. They have flaws or they have insecurities. Listen to that, and all you have to do is to make sure that what can you
Yeah.
do to just make them understand what is the problem, and then takes ways to either avoid the problem or to give them something to counterbalance. Now, as doctors, we are trained to it. Let's say that you see an illness, you want to cut it out. If you're a coach or a mentor, that's the worst thing you can do. You cannot cut out a flaw because usually that's the
Yeah.
core of person. So what you have to do is to counterbalance that with something else. Let's say that somebody has a big handicap. The more you're going to counterbalance the confidence, the less they're going to see that handicap. The problem is usually if people say handicap, all the focus is on the handicap. And then what happened is there's no space for anything else. So they become the handicap. So treating people or
Oh,
treating
yeah.
teeth, it's pretty much the same approach. But if you want to treat people, don't think you can cut out the flaws because you'll be leaving a hole. Don't cut it out. Just peel it
Makes a lot of
and
sense. It
counterbalance. And this is basically what
makes
I
a lot
learned
of
writing
sense.
130 books. It's I have to heal myself and going through this. Okay, this is how you do, and you just try by error.
Yeah. After all, you can't give what you don't have. So it's important to heal yourself first.
So basically, I think I just answered your first question. Why did I write so many books? Is because I was looking for answers.
You were actually healing yourself. You were actually on a journey, just that you were sharing it with the rest of the world.
I did more than that. I was healing myself, and I share my experience and what I successfully did
Yeah.
every 2 weeks. So a book is basically I wrote a book every 2 weeks in average for the last 5 years. So people that who going through this, they're going through the same path that I went. So the first book is okay, yeah, that's a book. Somebody yes, but by the time I reach 24 or even 36 book, if you line them up, you kind of see the process I've been through. And by today, if I write a book today, that book is kind of containing the major part of what I have learned writing all the books prior to that one. So something I have to say
Oh,
though,
wow.
I still stand by my first book. Whatever I wrote in the first book is still true, but the depth
Okay, that's
and
the
the
one that's the one I'm going to read before I call you back to come on the show again. I'll make sure I've read that one.
actually, if you do this, you won't have that much fun with me. I think you should pick up the last one first, and then read the first one. Say, okay, this is how far you went, doc.
Which last one? This this last one or the last one before this? This medical one?
No, forget the medical. The medical is something else. If be my guest, if you want to read this brick, be my guest. I'll be happy. But there's two books. If you want to look at the latest I have, it's either the power or the how to seduce anyone. That is one of the last one I read. Or you can have also how to leverage emotional intelligence. I think those will have a good insight of how I think today. And if you want the first one I wrote was Symphony of Skills. It's 21 chapters of my past, of how I kind of heal being an entrepreneur, try to cope with my past as a dentist, and also everything else I could do. And you'd be laughing. 5 years ago, I have no clue I could write. That was an accident.
That's a long life ambition for me. I'm writing my first one and hopefully will be out this year.
Okay, on this, I have a book that I might suggest to pick up. I have a book named How to Write a Book in 30 Days. Follow that recipe and call me back.
My name is not Dr. Bak, and I'm not a dentist, and I'm not a genius.
You're yourself.
And I'm
That's
not a
all you need to
genius.
know. You're yourself. That's all you need to know.
Oh
And
wow.
on this,
I've had an amazing
Omir, if I may, I will inspire you on this. You know that today one of my apprentice will be the next world record because I'm training her to beat me at my own game. And at the beginning of this
oh
year, I'm not
wow.
sure if because the first year I wrote 9 books within 12 months. I wasn't that ambitious. I didn't think I would be writing books, so I stopped. I come, and I was very mad at myself to miss the mark of 12 books within 12 months. That's still a world record, but still, yeah, I like those round numbers. So one of my apprentices approached me saying that, Doc, I would love for you to train me to gain your speed. I said, okay, but if I do this, you have to beat me. So her task is to write within 12 months 10 books. She is now 5 months away from the deadline. And for sure, if she keep the same pace that she has today, she'll be beating me with 10 books. And we even asked ourselves today the
Oh,
question, how far will she beat me? Is it with only with one book? And the way I asked her the question is, how high would you like to set the bar for the next one? And I don't have the answer to that one yet.
that's
But by the end of July, I can be proudly announcing that somebody will have beat me on my first landmark world record because she'll be writing more books than I did within my first 12 months. So, Omer, is
good. That's
as
nice.
long as you have that desire, and the first one, you have to get rid of it as soon
Yeah.
as possible. Keep that in mind. Your first book will not be good. Get rid of it. The second one, the third one, those will enjoy.
Yeah, makes sense. Just do it. Just do it.
And never erase something that you wrote and said, I can do better. Finish that book and start another one.
Yeah, because if you keep erasing, you'll keep erasing and it would never be perfect. So just do it. Yeah,
So when do I
that's
expect a
very
book from
true.
you? We're online right now. Take the cut a moment.
Now you're setting me up. When we finish the recording, Dr. Bak, if I said that to you, I'm saying that to the whole world. They'll be watching me.
Come on, we're online. Take a commitment.
Okay,
Jump
this
in.
year, this year,
So
this
let
year,
me just
Dr.
repeat that.
Bak and all.
Before the end of 2023, Omu will have published her first book, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Everybody heard that. Absolutely. So stay tuned. December 2023, you're going to have a book from my friend Omu here. Make it
Absolutely.
good though. Make it good. No, I mean, we're having fun here, but
Oh,
I'm encouraging
wow.
people to write books. And since you like the coaching industry, this is something I like to share with everybody who's listening to us. You know, when you coach somebody or you mentor somebody, the biggest resistance you be having is that person willing to change, but they don't want to change at the same time. And this was the biggest obstacle of anybody who's trying to 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 rise or to reach the next level. It's your own pride and your own desire not to change. But here's the idea: when you write a book, your book is like a mirror. So you write, and you're not lying because since it's silly to lie when you write to yourself, right? So you write
Yeah,
and you accept the truth,
yeah.
and then you look at the truth. So what do? Do you know how silly it is to argue with yourself? It's, I suck at this. You wrote that down. What are you gonna do now? Argue? So it's so easy to identify what's the problem and now fix it, or at least accept it. And writing books brought me that power because I stopped denying. I stopped my hypocrisy, and all I'm doing now it's I'm true to myself. And this is the first book, so that's why it's so important to get rid of the first as soon as possible. Everything you write in the first book, it's all your regrets, all your lies, all the lies you've been fed. By the time you reach the second book, now you're free of that. So if you use the
Yeah,
same concept as a mirror, writing, but now you have an empty page to write, you start writing your future. And it's crazy. If you write the truth, if you walk your words, how very quickly writing will have become a way to self-prophesize yourself because there's no resistance.
oh
Everything
yeah,
that you write down, you be doing. If I tell you, Omir, that you're great, you be smiling. If I tell you that you suck at something, first thing you're gonna say it's yeah, who do you think you are to tell that, right? But when you tell that to yourself, how can you argue? Right?
yeah,
So writing books gave me that power to get free from my past and also to start engaging with really what I am. And that's why today I can be with you today without any preparation and be as authentic is because I spend my days writing books. I'm used to being naked. I don't care.
hmm
And actually, as
And
soon
I
as you
mean,
start
you would
being
always
naked, then you
wear.
see yourself. Oh, I didn't see that before. I have to fix that. And please, if you want to fix something, don't cut it out. You have to accept it and counterbalance it. Because if every time you have to
Yeah,
cut it
don't
out,
cut it out.
that it's painful. And you're gonna take all your resources to cut something out that you might need, and then you have to take even more energy to start healing. Well, when you're counterbalancing something,
Yeah,
now you're creating something new. You have that positive energy, and then just give the focus to the new thing that you like, and you'll be depriving the other one from your attention. What do you think will happen over time? It will shrink. You can just
yeah,
tolerate it. You don't need to have a clean slate.
yeah. I totally understand. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Sorry, I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Yeah, so it's really been an interesting evening and a lot of aha moments. And while Dr. Bak is waiting for my book at the end of 2023, I'm waiting for three more from you. So if you match me with three more, I'll match you with one.
Okay, so if you use that standard, three more,
Oh my goodness.
maybe
I think I've
you
shot
might call
myself.
me back in a month and a half, maybe
Okay,
a
10
month after
more.
I'm. You don't want to take that game with me. But, Omu, now that you understand how the logic of writing books is, you really sure you want to spend the next 8 months Writing your first one,
No,
which
no,
is
no.
gonna be a heavy one.
Sure, once I start out. Now that
Get
I
rid of this one. Get
now
rid of
that I
this one as soon as possible.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bak. It's been an amazing time with you, and I can't wait to have you back here when you're done with that fat book. And
Actually, the only way I'm gonna get back in this show is for you to show me your book.
okay, I'll write it. I'll write it in less than a month then.
And for all the people who listen to us, let's pick a challenge here. You know that I know how long it took me to write 100 books. That took me 4 years. Now I'm kind of throwing this challenge to anyone who are looking for an easy way to test something new, to change. Start writing your own book. I'm not looking to sell a book here, but if you need help, there's a book I wrote called How to Write a Book in 30 Days. That was my recipe. And do something. Since you're part of Omu audience, challenge her. Finish your book before her. And then call her. You want to be host on the
Nice,
show, say,
Dr. Bak.
what are you doing? Omu, I've done my book. What about you?
That's not
The
nice.
more people will be doing this, I'm telling you, you all have a power inside of you that is just waiting for you to unlock. And sooner or later you will. But the sooner you do, the more time you have to enjoy who you are. The
Absolutely.
later you will take, the more time you're going to take to get it. You will get through, but you will have less time. And on this, allow me to finish with a quote of mine that I really like is your legend can only start the day you're out of your quest of identity.
Your legend
Can
can
only
only.
start the day you're out of your quest of identity.
Oh, wow.
And this is exactly what I'm pushing you to do. Get rid of your identity. Get rid of what you've been suffering, how people
All the hang up.
expect from you, all those luggage.
Yeah.
Honor it, give it a book,
Excess baggage.
give it a book, and then throw it away.
Yeah, that's true. That makes a lot of sense. I'm taking you up on that.
So I'm expecting a lot of you to write to Omu so that now it's my turn to be on the show because I finished my book.
Yes, everybody's welcome.
And please look me up on social network. I want to know about it because I want to know if it took me 4 years to write 100 books. I want to know how long it will take me to inspire 100 authors.
Oh,
That would
that's
be
a good
something cool.
challenge. That is a good. No, never say never. Never
And
say.
never say never. Then that will be something very cool.
Yeah.
It's not never. It's just a matter of how long it will take. I believe that by today I should be at maybe 15 or a little more that I
So
know of because people don't.
we're not looking for that many. Before the end of the year, we'll hit 100.
And you amongst them, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you so much, Dr. Bak. I thoroughly enjoyed myself this evening. Thank you.
It was
So
my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so that was Dr. Bak Nguyen. I'm going to make sure I see him before he retires so he does something to my teeth. And you can reach out to him on LinkedIn. So next week, we've had an amazing time. I'm out.
You've been listening to Network Kingdom with Omo Obulor. Remember, if you cannot see where you're going, ask someone who has been there before.